Hey there, church. So today we're here with Steve Stuart and asked Steve to chime in on this idea of sacred work. So Steve, tell us a little bit about what line of work you're in right now.
Well, the line of work that I'm in right now is it's warehousing work, but we build doors. It's a company called Romac.
Okay.
And it's pretty much working on the assembly line. It comes to us, we put it together, put it on a cart, and it goes to the shipper to be shipped out.
Very good. So how long have you been doing that job?
I've recently just started that job, about maybe 2 months now. Yeah. And I'm already the line leader. So
that's good.
I mean, it's not too bad, you know. It's real physical, but you know, if you've been doing it a while, you can get used to it.
And you've been in that kind of line of work for a long time in terms of assembling things and forklift work, maintenance work, stuff like that.
I gotta say at least 20 years.
Okay, very good. Do you like it?
Actually, it's challenging. Mm-hmm. That's the way I can say it, because no day is the same. Sure. So there's some days where it could just be easy. We don't have nothing to ship out. Yeah. There's some days when it's like, you're getting crazy. Yeah,
I bet. So how many guys or how many people work with you in your division?
I'd say roughly about 3 now. Okay. No, 4. I'm wrong. 4.
Okay.
It's 4 people.
So you're around those people almost all the time?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. So what was it that caused you, what made you go into that line of work, you think? What was it that drew you to that?
Well, actually, I'm always a hands-on person. And I actually, from even back then, I just like to learn different things. I like to build things. I'm always good with my hands. And when you're doing a trade, it's just something you gotta really like it. You just can't put it together and think that you're gonna skate through it.
Yeah. So in this series called Sacred Work, we've looked at the idea that our work and our jobs, the 9 to 5, should be an expression of worship to God, that we're giving God glory by the way we work. And I know in our conversation you've displayed some of that. So in your own words, tell us how you view your work as an expression of worship to God.
Well, actually, it's I use it to spread the word. Mm-hmm. You know, like if I use my past to affect certain people, and then when they feel like, oh, we got something in common, and then when I tell them the other half, how I change, it opens a doorway.
Sure. And
we'll sit there and we'll talk, and before you know it, we're in a spiritual conversation. Yeah. And I've done that on several jobs, you know, where we can sit there and we talk, and all of a sudden, they'll in the back of their mind, they're like, wait, this guy is like really like preaching to me, you know. And I don't want to come off like that, but it's just that it's positive talk. Yeah. You know, positive talk, read positive things, and you're supposed to always love your job.
Yeah, that's really good. So you look for ways in your job to communicate the truth of God's word.
Right. It's like when you said a long time ago how Jesus sat there and we have meals and with the tax collectors and all that. I've worked on certain jobs now where sometimes I bring him food. Mm-hmm. And even my boss, he comes and he wants something to eat, you know, and it brings them to me, and that's how I open the floodgates for them.
That's good. I like that, man. So how would you say, how is it that you earn the trust of those coworkers so that you can talk to them about God?
I have to honestly say it's a gift. You know, because there's some people who just come and just talk to me. You know, I guess I'm an easy person to talk to. Yeah. You know, and before we know it, we're in my conversation it can start as somebody, because you don't know what type of day a person's having, and they just need to vent it out. And I give them that ear. And once I start talking to them and all that, and then I use it to my advantage to say, you know what, maybe you should seek God. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's how it can get better. And you know, and maybe they do follow it, maybe they don't. But it's just an idea that they have planted now. It's like planting a seed.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So when you say you share a little bit of your past and your background and stuff like that, when you share some of your experiences in life, how does that help you think? How does that help you in terms of your witness?
It makes me feel like I'm giving back on what I've taken. See, when I sit there and I talk to them, they look at me like, nah, you didn't do all that. You weren't that type of person. You know, and it's like judging a book by its cover. You think like, oh, okay, you see me now, but you don't know me from back then. Yeah. So once I let them know, and they're like, mouth is open, they like, you know, they can't really believe it. it makes them feel like maybe they can change.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe something's going on with them, and they say, you know what? If he can change, maybe I can. You know, and it could be different things. You know, I mean, there's some people who like to drink, some people on drugs. I talk to anybody about anything, and from past jobs like working at a methadone clinic and things like that, I got a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge, and just sharing that is really what opens the floodgates and make them say like, okay, maybe I should listen to this guy. And before you know it, we're in a deep conversation.
That's cool. Very good, man. So in this series, Sacred Work, we talked about the concept in our series here. So in Sacred Work, we talked about this concept that work is not just worship, but it's also ministry. Mm-hmm. So that ministry defined as meeting other people's needs. What are some ways that you feel that your job and where you're at right now helps meet the needs of other people?
Well, it actually, I mean, with no doors to be built, people could just walk in your house.
That's true. That's true.
You know, and it like I said, it's a trade, you know. So maybe somebody could see a door and say, wow, you know, maybe I should learn how to do that one day, you know. I mean, it's a lot of options out there. Yeah. You know, especially when it comes to that type of work. And if you're a type of person that like to work with their hands, I mean, I'd say go for it.
Yeah. So how would you say that your perspective, so you have a great perspective about work, that you want to use it for God's glory, you want to use it to share the gospel. How has your perspective on work as worship and service to the Lord, how has that been a blessing to you? What kind of blessings do you receive from that?
Well, actually, it's an internal blessing. It makes me feel good that I've done something to help change somebody. Like, I remember a long time ago when we were talking about discipleship and how when you speak to one person who speak to two people and all that. So if I could reach one person who's not say that they can't reach two, or those two people meet three, it could be like a pyramid, but I'm where it starts at. Yeah. You know, like I said, just planting the seed and watching the tree grow.
That's awesome, man. Very good. I like that. Yeah, that's perfect. So how would you say, as you prepare for your day at work, do you spend some time in prayer as you head into work for God to bless you that day and to use you?
I would say first I gotta pray for my truck and make it to work first. But yes, you know, it's just more or less when you get up, you're happy you woke up. And see, I get up at least 2 hours earlier than my start time, so I don't have to walk in like, oh, I don't want to be here. You know, I go in with a happy attitude, and that's what brings out in everybody else. First thing I walk in, I say good morning to everybody, and some people notice that. They're like, this guy comes in kind of happy. What's he on? You know, get the cup for him. But you know, it's just like you love your work, you prepare yourself for work. So it's just like you prepare yourself for work. You ask God to give you that uplifting feeling, you know. And sometimes when you speak the word of God, you get an uplifting feeling. So why not?